Mean anything to you? That name?
No.
Do you have an opinion as to whether or not your sister has the capacity to know right from wrong?
Thought she did.
Why do you say that?
She's too smart.
Was your sister a really good athlete as well?
Yes, sir.
What kind of sports did she play?
Softball, basketball, baseball.
Was she more of a leader than a follower?
That's what I thought.
Never see her drive a vehicle, for instance?
Yes, sir.
Did she have the ability to stop at red lights, go when it turns green, that kind of thing?
Yes, sir.
Have you ever seen her, have you witnessed her obey the law?
Yes, sir.
And is that throughout your entire life?
Yep.
And is that for even when you were in Colorado?
I mean, we didn't ride with her. She didn't really drive around with us, but I mean, she acted funny the whole time we was down here, to be honest.
Tell us about that. Why was she acting funny?
Seemed like she was stressed out about everything that was going on, looking over her shoulders. But I figured that was because of the laws was constantly coming after her.
You alluded to this earlier, but she had just been in handcuffs prior to you guys picking her up, right?
Yep.
And do you think that may have caused her to be a little bit paranoid about the police following her and things like that? What about her capacity to do things intentionally, perform intentional acts? Let's talk about the budget rental van. Did you see anything unusual about her ability to rent another van to go to South Carolina?
No.
Does she have the capacity to intend to do things?
Yeah.
Does she have the capacity to make decisions and use judgment and reflection in making those decisions?
Yeah.
What did you think when you heard that she pled not guilty by reason of insanity?
I believe that was the only way she did it at that time.
Did what?
What we're here for.
A moment, Your Honor.
You may.
He just sealed her fate.
Those are my questions, Your Honor. Thank you.
Cross-examination, Mr. Lena.
He just sealed her fate.
Mr. Lowry,
Or,
I know this is difficult. And we've met before, correct? Remember I came and I saw you and your mom and everything out in North Carolina. I want to go back just to the attorney's last question. You indicated that she must have been when she did this. And what you're meaning is the Leticia that you know, the only way she could have done something so horrible if she has some type of mental break.
when everything first happened, and we found out that the little boy was found in the body, we found out where he was found. At that point, I knew she did it because when I seen that suitcase and asked her about it, she just acted funny to me. And yeah, I thought she might have snapped and went crazy.
Okay.
But now, no. No.
Okay. And talk Lumberton, you're from Lumberton, North Carolina, correct?
Yep.
And that's kind of a small, how big of Lumberton?
It's not that big.
A pretty small community.
Yeah.
And this case has got a national exposure.
Yep.
And it's got even more kind of exposure, in Lumberton. Lumberton
Yep.
press is, picked up and followed this case pretty closely.
Yep.
And over the 3 years since this has happened, this has caused a lot of shame to come upon you and your family.
Yep.
It makes you feel like your own town, kind of like an outcast.
Yep.
Like everybody's looking and judging you.
Yep.
Like everybody's looking and judging your mom.
Yep.
And this is all your stepsister's fault.
No, she's not my stepsister.
You have different fathers, correct?
I mean, I don't consider that a stepsister. That's half.
Okay. This is all your half sister's fault.
Yes.
And you're angry at her for it.
Yep.
When you were out in Colorado during this time, she was acting different than normal.
Yes, she was.
She was pacing up and down. She seemed highly paranoid.
Yep.
Your mother was concerned for her mental health.
Yep.
Did your mom, Brenda, and you all fly back together?
Yeah, me and my mom and Aunt Brenda.
Okay. And you flew out of DIA?
Yeah.
Do you call her during that time in Colorado that you were with her being paranoid and believing there's a black BMW that was following her?
Yeah, she did do that.
Go back. You're actually named after your father? Middle name?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And my grandpa.
Okay. And Ms. Stauch was 16 when she moved out, correct?
I believe.
Okay. So she's 14 years older than you. That would mean you're only 2 years old when she moved out of the house.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
So you never had any active memories of her with James or how James treated her?
No, sir.
And you said that she would come home from time to time, but she never came back to North Carolina, never came back to Lumberton to see you guys until after James died.
Not that I can't remember.
Okay. You indicated, let's go. I mean, I'm going to get into this, and I know you might not like it, but your dad, James Lowry, did have a drinking problem.
Yes, he did, as far as I know.
You would get drunk and you'd beat the piss out of your mom.
Yes, as far as I know, yep.
Sometimes it'd be so bad that your mom would have to take all you kids to a hotel room till you sobered up.
Yep.
Sometimes your mom would have to go to work and James be the one watching after you kids. Correct?
Yep.
One time, James gave you so much alcohol that you passed out. Well, they went up
Overruled.
One time, James gave you so much alcohol that you passed out.
Yep.
And you were so if you passed when you were 7, you would have had to been, what, 4, 5, or 6?
When you asked
You passed out. Remember how old you were?
I was like 3.
Okay. You indicated that, I think you said before, that she would sometimes freak out if something was out of place.
Yep.
Stauch. And also, do you recall that sometimes when Ms. Stauch would come visit you or see you, sometimes she would leave you knives so you'd be able to protect yourself?
Yep, she did do that.
Further questions?
Great.
Yes, Sheriff, thanks. Tell us a little bit more about your dad. Was he in the armed forces?
Yep.
What branch?
Air Force.
And did he go to war?
I believe he did.
And did that create problems for him?
Yep.
Tell the jury about that. What changed with your dad when he got back from war?
All I know is my mom always told me when he stepped off that plane,
Fine. Hold on. Just a moment. Yeah, sustained. You can talk about what you observed. You can't talk about what somebody else told you. Okay?
I mean, I can't really talk about him because I was 3 when they separated. I was 7 when he died.
That's all right.
Okay. That's okay. It's all right.
Now, earlier we talked about your mom being protective of the kids. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
If something was going on with your dad and the kids, what would your mom do?
She don't play about her kids. Something went on between. I don't know how she did Daddy, but I know if something went on between her and like her ex-boyfriend or whatever, and they wanted to come to us or say something to us, she didn't play about us. She protected us.
She protected you kids? Did she protect herself?
Yep.
Did you ever see her hit your dad?
I don't remember hitting on. I don't remember hitting. I can't remember much of my daddy because I was so young. But I know her boyfriend after my daddy, Greg, he would hit on her, and she would fight him back.
Did you want to be here today to testify?
Nope.
Did you get subpoenaed and that's why you came out here?
Yep.
Mr. Tellini was asking you questions about insanity or some kind of mental break. And you said initially that's what you thought, but then you said now, no. What did you mean?
I just feel like it's too much got done for you to be saying that now. For her to be saying that.
Well, do you think when she was telling you that there's softball equipment in the suitcase, she knew right from wrong, had the capacity to form the intent to do things?
Yep.
Objection meeting overruled.
Those are my questions, Your Honor. Thanks.
Do any of the jurors have any questions for Mr. Lowry? Like we have one. Counsel, retrieve that question and approach, please. Mr. Lowry, do you remember where the green suitcase was retrieved from when you were getting the defendant's belongings at the house?
No.
I will allow reasonable follow-up as to that question only. Prosecution.
When was the first time you saw that green suitcase?
When we was switching the vans.
Did you ever see it come out of the house when you guys are moving things out of the house into the first van?
No. Not that I can remember.
Thanks, Jeff.
Defense? All right. Thank you, Mr. Lowry. You may step down. Just watch your step.